What's going on, friends? Baltmatrix here, and today we're taking a look at War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Ironhide from the Siege line. Now, Ironhide this is a completely new figure. He's got some schmutz on his toes, but he's red with some yellow accents and silver, and he looks really good. I like the look of the figure quite a bit. The overall height of the figure is roughly the same size as everything from Siege Deluxe Class wise right now. He has multiple Siege ports. We've got one on the back, one on the shoulder, one on the forearm, one on the side of the lower leg, down by his ankle, and one on the bottom of his foot, and then double that for the other side. The overall look is very plain, but there is a lot of detail going on here in this figure, which I appreciate greatly. The only thing I would really complain about this figure has to do with these flaps on the side that are part of the transformation. They just fall off. There is a fix that involves putting a screwdriver into one of these holes and just opening the hole up ever so slightly so that this gap right here at the tip of my finger is filled in. I haven't done that yet, obviously. So, yeah. Now the figure itself is perfectly fine. It feels good. It has good posability, though the knees are a little bit too light, or a little bit too loose for my taste, but I'm sure I can fix that. Other posability, head is on a ball joint, can look down that much, can look up that much. Shoulders are on double swivels and hinges, so it's got plenty of in and out, forward and back, a swivel at the upper arm, 90-degree bend at the elbow, and the fists do articulate, but they are very tight. There is a torso swivel, but it is a bit tight, and it does have a tendency to snap back right into the middle. Hinges and swivels for the legs can kick up about 90 degrees, can kick back way more than that, and like every deluxe class figure in Siege, can do the splits. Upper thigh swivel, 90-degree bend at the knee, and then some nice ankle articulation, a full 90 degrees in, which, you know, I've said this before, but the fact that they've added ankle articulation to every single figure is really nice. Ironhide's missile launcher is pretty cool. I like the detailing up front, 6 missiles, and I like the the brushed paint on the outside towards the stock. It works well. However, the figure has the darndest time trying to hold this thing. All of the pegs are just a little bit too short for his hands. It does transform into a missile hammer mode, so it explodes on impact, I guess? Now back to the part about it, having trouble holding it. You can see that he's actually holding it, but then just a little bit of wiggles and it pops right out. And that's the same with every single peg. His fists the pegs just don't fit in his fists all that well. They just fall out way too easily. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it is annoying. On his back, you can store the missile launcher, as you saw when I started the video, and you can peg him up or peg it up anywhere you want. Thanks to all the joints, you can pull off some really cool poses. This is probably one of my favorite, and it reminds me of something from like a sci-fi movie. Getting Ironhide loaded up with a bunch of Siege Battlemaster bits is fun, satisfying, and the overall look that you end up with is, no matter what pieces you use, all work really well. And if you're wondering, yes, you can totally open his chest, and with a little bit of fidgeting, you could get a Titan's Master or Prime Master right inside there. And I don't show this off enough on any of these figures, but on Ironhide I want to make mention of it. The blast effects and pegs on this figure feel a little bit too small for some of them. So for this one that comes with our favorite little Autobot Target Master, it works. But for the ones that come with the Decepticon, it fits, but it's very loose. It will peg, but you just got to be careful with it because it pops right off. Ironhide's transformation is easy yet incredibly satisfying. Start with, open up the chest, grab the head, and fold the head up into the chest, and then close the chest up again. Turn the figure around and come to the back shoulders and unpeg these silver, what look to be like mortar launchers off his shoulders. Then grab the arms and fold them out and turn them 90 degrees forward, and then fold them up behind the shoulders, like so. Grab the entire. Next, come down to the legs, reach inside the lower legs, and flip out the entire front of the legs, and then combine them together. You will pop these panels off. It's okay, they go back on. Grab the entire upper torso where the head and the arms and the shoulders are, and turn that whole section around 180 degrees to fit over the open section of the legs, and then the section just below the knees will peg into the arms. And then you could close that entire section up, and there are other pegs that will peg in to the upper arm or lower forearms, as long as you have everything lined up correctly. And with everything lined up correctly, you should have the vehicle mode look something like this on top. Come to the front, flip up that section, and the section that looks like the mortar section, and snap it into place underneath the front of the vehicle mode, and then go and retrieve your panels that popped off, put them back into place, and then close them up just underneath the shoulders and above the wheel wells, like that. And yeah, I really need to perform the little fix there, because these panels popping off are a pain. Anyway, here's the vehicle mode. I like this vehicle mode a lot more than I think I should. It's super simple, it's very, very pedestrian, and it feels like a Cybertronian minivan. It really does. Rolls with no problem. I would have loved there to have been some more yellow, maybe going from yellow here all the way back. And I would have loved some paint on the wheels. But I can't argue with the overall look of it, except how did he get dirty on the back of the vehicle mode? That's something I'm just kind of curious about. Oh well. The only real complaint I have about the vehicle mode is all of the siege ports are right on the top, and they're so close together. It's really difficult to actually get a cool look with the vehicle mode. See, you really have to plan it out. You have to go with something small in the front, or at least not very deep, because every other component that I'm looking at here off to the side is too long and will block the rear ports. This is kind of the best thing I've come up with. Well, that and using the smaller red guns up front. That does work. So yeah, if you're going to do it, you got to plan it out a little bit more than I would think you would want to. Overall, I like Ironhide quite a bit. I was prepared to not like him at all, or worse, be bored with him. And that's not the case in the least bit. I think this is actually quite a good figure. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to them redoing the figure, or maybe molding it or remolding it into Ratchet, because, well, you know that's gotta be coming. I think we've already got that confirmed, in fact, but we haven't seen any pictures of the figure. So yeah, Ironhide is definitely worth owning, and definitely worth having in your collection, especially if you're interested in Siege. He's a fun figure, and to be honest, I think he goes really well with Prime. Yep, I think these two work pretty well together. In fact, all the Siege characters and all the Siege toys work really well together. So folks, let me know what you think of Ironhide down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to hit the bell so you know when a new video is out. As always, I'm Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.